You're a big one. Alright, we're gonna test out the new chesty and the new fishing pole. Head over to this spot that I like to go to. It's right across the river. And yeah, let's see if we can actually catch a couple fish since we didn't have any luck yesterday. Maybe we'll have some better luck today. All right, we got a fish on. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. As long as I can get you in the net. There we go. Yeah, little baby catfish. We're gonna let you go though. We're gonna let you. There we go. Nice and clean. I'm not gonna actually grab this one. Hey there, little guy. Thank you for letting me catch you. I'm gonna let you go now. Let's see if I can. Yeah, he stuck his barbs right out. So with catfish, you kind of want to grab them from the bottom because they stick these barbs out, which can really hurt. But yeah, you're a little baby. Got ones way bigger than this before, so we're gonna let you go. Thank you for letting me catch you. That was exciting. Nice little splash to the face. So I wasn't really able to film it on the way in too well, but look at that. We got a little sunfish. Actually a big sunfish. You're a big one. That might be a keeper. So, did not catch anything when we went on our kayaking adventure, but of course, when I went the next day, what did I do? I caught some fish. So what we have here is a sunfish. This is actually my first sunfish that I've caught in this river here, and I've never eaten sunfish before, but I've seen other videos of people eating it, and it seems pretty decent. And then we got ourselves a pretty decent sized catfish here, like a 20-inch catfish, which I've done plenty of those. So yeah, I think we're gonna do some fish tacos. Super excited about the sunfish. Not nearly as much meat as the catfish, but we'll definitely be able to make some decent fish tacos there. So, and I think that we're gonna do a little corn on the cob. Camila's still working right now. I just finished, so I'm gonna get to it and hopefully have a nice feast ready for us in a little bit. So there are a ton of different ways to clean fish. So what I typically like to do first is just make an incision in the stomach. And for those of you who have never seen a fish cleaned before, it's kind of gross. So feel free to skip this part if you don't want to watch it. Totally understandable. So I just like to open up the stomach, cut all of the insides out, and by no means do I consider myself an expert. Really not at all. Alright, now that we got the insides cleaned out, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on our actual fillets here. So what I like to do is just kind of starting from the head, working my way down on one side. And the great thing about catfish is that they're not as bony as some of the other fish. Like for instance, I have a feeling that this sunfish is going to be much bonier. So I just start making an incision down there, trying to get as close as possible to the spine to make sure that I'm not leaving any meat behind. And even if I don't get all the meat, it's okay because I actually salvage the spine, the head, and everything, and I make soup with it. Clifford absolutely loves it when I do that, and he enjoys a little bit of that with his regular dog food. So that's kind of just my first cut through. Then I go through and do a little bit more of a refined cut to really try to, again, not leave any meat behind if possible. Alright, there we go. And that's the spine right there. So again, pretty decent. Still some meat there, but we'll utilize that in the soup that we make. Alright, so we got our first fillet cut off from the body. There is still the skin on it. Quite honestly, you can just leave it on and just cook it and it'll peel off very easily that way, because taking this part off can be a little tricky. You want a really good knife that can kind of slice nicely between, I don't know if you can see that good, but between the skin and the actual meat. And I try to kind of like pull on the outer skin. Another thing that I like to do is kind of fold the fish over, because it gives me a nice view of the bottom, to again make sure that I'm getting as close to that skin as possible. So we have officially cut the meat from our skin. We have a nice little fillet left behind there. So we'll go ahead and move on to the other side of this fish now and do the same thing. So we finished cleaning the catfish. Now we're going to move on to the sunfish. Again, I've never cleaned one of these before, but I'm going to just use the same strategy that I use on pretty much everything. So I have no idea what to expect inside of this thing, but I'm going to just follow the same philosophy as most other fish, which is cutting as close to the spine as possible. I'm going to try to scrape some of these scales off. Yeah. Cliff, how'd you sneak through there?
That's the border goalie. Right, Cliff?
As long as you don't try to jump on me while I'm cleaning this fish, I guess we're okay. One thing that I have learned in my very unprofessional experience cleaning fish is that the smaller the fish, the more. So yeah, towards the end of the process here, and it's actually skinning off pretty well. It's not a ton of meat, but yeah, it's not too bony either, which is a pleasant surprise. So I'm not sure if I would do it again. I guess we'll find out after we taste it and see if it tastes good. Yeah. Alright, so we got our fillets cut up here. We have catfish on one side, sunfish on the other, and actually pretty pleased with how the sunfish turned out. Thought it was going to be more bony, a little bit more tricky to fillet, but came out pretty easy. So we'll cook these up in a little bit. Hopefully the sunfish will taste good. Again, have never had it before. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So Camila has to work until 8, so I'm not going to start cooking the fish just yet, but I'm going to start doing some other prep work. So I just husked some corn over here, which I'm going to be cooking over an open fire in some aluminum foil. I'm going to chop up some garlic and butter, which is going to go in with the corn in the aluminum foil, so I'll show that in a second. Alright, so we're going to take our piece of corn, husked, put it on aluminum foil like this. I have 2 pieces of butter, not too big, that I've cut up, and I'm going to put on there. And I've also chopped up a clove of garlic, and I've spread it out over the aluminum foil. Take a little salt, pour that on there, a little black pepper, and we're just going to fold this thing in, trying to get everything bunched together as much as possible, just like that. Should look kind of like a burrito. I have a little extra time to work on prep while Camila's working, so I'm just going to start chopping up the ingredients that are going to go in our fish tacos. So we have some tomato, a little bit of red cabbage to make a slaw, avocado, mango, Okay, these puppies are done, so let's go inside and make some fish. The corn on the cob is done, so we're gonna get started on our fish. Have a healthy amount of butter to start. We're gonna toss it in our hot pan. Let that start to melt. Spread it out all over. I gave Clifford a little bit of the fish, and he's losing his mind now. He wants it so bad. We made all of this fish head soup, or I always say fish head. It's technically the entire body that we just didn't eat. Made a nice little broth stock out of it, and we literally just pour a little bit of that in Clifford's food, and he absolutely loves it. Goes crazy for it.
He's happy now. Right, Cliff?
Yeah, he keeps on crying. He's like, I want more. We'll give him more in a little bit. We're all gonna have fish tonight. Don't you worry, Cliffy. You're gonna get in on it too, buddy. So while that's cooking a little bit, we'll go ahead and start putting our spices on. We're gonna put some Cajun. Nice generous amount. Garlic powder. I normally put cumin, but I just realized that we are out of cumin. Black pepper. Onion powder. We're gonna actually take them and flip it on the spice side, because then I'm gonna put spices on the other side as well. So we'll get our sunfish in right there. And let that butter kind of spread around a little bit so that it's getting sucked up. All right, and now while it's cooking on that side, we'll go ahead and put our second round of spice.
Clifford always sits very close to Sean when he cooks.
He's an opportunist. He's just waiting for that lucky moment where maybe a piece of food will fall down to the ground. Not happening today though, buddy. So the fish is done. We don't really have a ton of sunfish there, so I'm just gonna use that to make one of these tacos. And then that's gonna be catfish, that's gonna be catfish, and then we'll put all the other toppings on over there.
Food is ready.
Food's ready, so time for the official taste test. I'm gonna try the sunfish first, because that one's new.
Let's try it. I'm gonna try
There we
the
go.
catfish.
Cheers. Not bad.
Very good.
So we have avocado, tomato, mango, not coleslaw, sorry, just red cabbage, and a little sauce on top, which is mayonnaise, hot sauce, and relish. Super simple. Corn's good too. All right, so successful catch and cook, even though it didn't technically happen on the same day. Thank you guys for watching.
And see you guys in the next episode.